Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 2.1 of our physics journey. Now, again, if you don't have a pencil and paper, I want you to get one right now when you're doing this, because we're going to go through a couple of definitions. We're going to be talking about a couple of things, move up and down. What if you fire things at an angle? What if you start pushing on them? Motion is a big part about the first semester, and especially how do forces affect motion? Do they make it speed up? Do they make it slow down? Do they make it go at a constant speed? I mean, there's all sorts of things that are going to happen involving motion. So we're going to start today just kind of by defining motion and how we represent motion in physics. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is a motion diagram. You maybe have seen something like this cruising through magazines. So this is a person wakeboarding. Here we've got a person, a simple cartoon, someone running. Here's another cartoon of somebody running, somebody skateboarding. It's basically burst mode when you pull out your camera. Here's somebody snowboarding, and then this is a person on a dirt bike. I think I did a Google search for burst mode photography, and this is what came up. But these are commonly referred to as motion diagrams. And a motion diagram is it's a series of pictures taken at equal time intervals. To show motion. Now that's important that they're taken at equal time intervals. They have to be taken at equal time intervals for you to have any sort of assumption as to what's going on. They have to be taken at equal time intervals. Meaning this, that you can't take pictures, you have to take the pictures like picture, 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 or picture, 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 picture. You can't do picture, 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 picture. You aren't going to be able to infer, are they moving faster, are they moving slower, to look at how the motion is actually changing if they're not taken at equal time intervals. The next type of way we picture motion is called the particle model. The particle model, so basically I just copied this exact same thing that you just saw, and I'm going to turn all of these motion diagrams into a particle model. The particle model is just a series of points that represent the object moving. It's basically a motion diagram with points. With points instead of pictures. So here we go. We're going to turn this first person into the particle model. I'm going to enlarge this. Move this guy down, move this guy down, come back up here. So here we go. In order to do this, let's see. We're going to put a point here. Let's pick Creative Pen. We're going to put a point right on his head. There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the picture so you can see what's going on in the particle model. And you look at it and you're like, it looks kind of neat, but here's the real beauty. Instead of putting the dot on his face, when you're doing a particle model, where you should really do is put the dot on the center of mass. So I'm going to do that exact same process again, except this time I'm going to put the dot on the center of mass. And the center of mass for a human being is their belly button. It's a spot where you could actually put your finger on something and spin it. Like the center of mass on a human being is their belly button. So watch what happens when I redo this, putting my, oh boy, this is going to get kind of tricky around here. Oh gosh. And now look what happens when I make it disappear. Look at how much nicer that is. It follows that what's called a parabola, a parabolic path. We can do the same thing for any one of these pictures. We'll use this one. We'll put it on our center of mass. And here you can kind of see that she's accelerating. You can see how the spacing between the dots gets farther away. This one's not really valid because it's not on a single background. We got this guy here, or it could be a girl, who knows? Ooh. This is basically a tool for analyzing motion, taking something very complicated and making it simpler. This person here. If I have any other creative pens I can use. Oh yes, I do have one more. Belly button. Now this is kind of tricky because he's coming at an angle towards us. So we aren't going to get a true definition of what's happening, because when you see this picture right here, are they going straight left and right? But this is what we're trying to do, is put a three-dimensional motion. So there's motion in the x direction, the y direction, and the z direction here, but you're only trying to translate it to a two-dimensional surface. So this doesn't give us a good idea unless we were perfectly on the side of it, like what we were seeing with this person up here. He's moving in 3D, but he's really only moving in a plane towards us. So the particle model is just a series of points that represent an object rather than a series of pictures, which is what we call a motion diagram. That's really 2.1, just how do we picture motion? We'll get into more of this in sections 2.3 through 2.5.